I feel like I know what this is, but I can't remember.
Music? No, shouldn't be. Oh, this is an attempting to
Late
find
for
an
gauges.
expedition to recover the aircraft of Glenn Miller.
Oh.
You have to scroll down through Google a couple of links, because the first thing that comes up is the big band.
Is the band, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
yeah, I think Russ and Lonnie would have more of a. They'd probably know more of the people involved than I do. As in, I don't know any of them, so that's a good chance.
I would say I think that's cool, and I hope they find it. Similar to how I hope we find it.
Oh, yeah. So Glenn Miller departed from England to Paris, and the plane disappeared in flight while over the English Channel.
Oh, all right.
In 1944.
Oh, well, I know that there's been a lot of exploration done in the English Channel. It's interesting.
Was that 1944, so that was a military flight?
Probably, let me check.
USAF C-64 Norseman?
I'm guessing USAF is United States Air Force. I moved to port. Are you happy? Your ROV still
Remains to be seen.
Your ROV still isn't doing the right thing.
You're not towing it around properly?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's probably because you haven't moved the ship properly.
Yeah, I called in the wrong moves.
I'd say.
I'll just stop the ship, rip out the bridge button so that you guys can't come. Oh wait, you have your own.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Bridge.
Bridge
Chris has failed
assistant
us.
to the Argus pilot. Chris has gone rogue.
So we would expect a higher concentration of life near the Clipper since it is too deep and the materials of the wreck wouldn't be very attractive to marine life. So
well, it is a hard surface, which a lot of corals and sponges like. And we're assuming it hasn't been moving since we're thinking it's going to be in pretty big chunks. But I think this comes back to a question asked earlier, but I'm not sure exactly how long it takes for corals or sponges to find and attach themselves and then grow on a hard substrate.
I do remember there was a young viewer that wrote in asking if sharks hang around shipwrecks. So that would be cool if there was a shark.
Like a 2-for-1.
Yeah, the shark was hanging around Small Clipper.
So who's the beat singer out of the group?
Who's the lead singer?
The beat singer, B-E-A-T.
Beat singer.
Uh-huh.
Oh, like beatboxing?
I guess. Are you?
Me? Oh, gosh, no.
That'd probably be me.
Heck no. Yeah, I'd definitely go with Steve. He was on the last cruise. He was our Foley artist.
Yeah?
He would make all the noises for everything we were doing. He did a pretty good job.
Sound effects and
yeah,
everything?
there was a couple times I was like, I didn't know our stuff made that noise, and he was like, no, that was me.
We didn't get any of that for this?
That's awesome.
No,
It hasn't been too much zooming.
Yeah, I mean, I would do like a sound for like the bio box, for the slurp.
Ugh.
But, yeah.
Should have come out sooner.
Yeah. And we do have a couple of people from Maryland. So yes. Welcome back, Brazil. We'd love to have you back. Yeah, it seems like this area is not very productive in terms of nutrients, and that's probably why we haven't found lots of marine life here. Maybe it has to do with the substrate too. So we would hope that the wreck would provide some space, some shelter, but I wouldn't think that it would make a huge difference from what we've been seeing this week.
Yeah, so I mentioned that turn because I was like, that's the last thing I'm going to do as a navigator on Nautilus. Like, I'm going back, like, going to have my career in the Coast Guard. Like, if I ever came back, it would be years, you know, before I got the chance. I'm like, oh, what a great way to end it. And I just got heckled and made me move the ship. And your ROV is still not agreeing with me.
You're like the football player who like celebrates his touchdown before he gets in the end zone.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
And then
Drops
gets
the
tackled.
ball, yeah.
No, I'm the football player who makes the touchdown, and then everyone goes, you could have done it cooler.
Or there's like a flag on the play.
A touchdown's a touchdown.
Yeah, I don't know. We're still not on the line.
I wouldn't call this a touchdown.
Yeah, it gets brought back.
No.
Yeah.
And if you look on this screen, all these ROV buttons, they're all green. There's no ground faults, and like all these sensors are
That's an
working
interesting.
properly.
That's an interesting target on the Mesotech.
Yeah, I know.
Hey guys,
Oh,
can
yeah,
we
that's a
take a look at that?
What's that?
Turn your heading on it.
Oh, you want me to turn to it?
Yeah, can I
Yeah,
turn?
please.
Oh, it's coming up in view.
Yeah, it's just more
A
rocks.
What
Really?
a good
Because it
rock.
looked like Plain Lake.
Yeah.
It does
Oh,
look
that's a
weird.
wreck.
Oh, there's another. Wow, these are kind of like out in the middle of nowhere. Like high boulders.
Everything's plain looking right now. It's a interesting looking one on the right too.
It's plain looking, P-L-A-I-N.
Ah, yes.
The wrong kind of plane.
So is it, we're getting interference from just turning?
Yeah.
Yeah, the thrusters.
Right, gotcha.
One of my
Would you like me to stay looking at them?
Nope, they're rocks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh.
one of my friends went to tell a joke, and he said, "What's a pilot's favorite type of bagel?" To which I immediately said, "Plain." And he goes, "How'd you get that?" I have no idea. Must be a genius or something. I was tempted to say like onion or everything.
Poppy seed.
Poppy seed.
So we have a viewer that is asking if we could ask the audience to do one thing, what would it be?
If we could ask the audience to do something?
Uh-huh.
Tell us where the plane is?
Just find it for us. Suggest Nautilus Live to as many people as you can, random strangers on the street.
Yeah.
Let them know what's up. More viewers apply to the internship programs. You know, get involved.
I would also
Keep watching.
suggest to, or ask for people to get in touch with local schools and perhaps get in touch with us so we can organize interactions with kids all over the world, so they all get excited about science, exploration, technology, and that one day they can be part of an expedition like this, for example.
Join the Coast Guard. It's a good one for them to do.
Well, one of the things that Dr. Ballard and others at OET have worked really hard to do over the years is make sure that the team on Nautilus is representative of, you know, a wide variety of types of people, so that, you know, all of the viewers can see that it's not like a whole group of scientists are out here. It's a group of people from all walks of life, and that, you know, anybody can come out in a whole variety of roles and do this sort of thing. And it's a largely collaborative, and we want as many people to participate as possible, whether from home or from places on shore or at sea. So yeah, spread the word, and if you're interested, you keep following the paths in school and in your career that could get you out on Nautilus or a ship like it.
Yeah, sure. So we have someone that just saw the footage we caught on sharks feeding on swordfish.
Oh yeah, I saw that video.
Was part of that expedition?
That was
cool.
on.
See, Okeanos.
That was on Okeanos.
Oh, that's right. That was Okeanos. That
sister
wasn't
ship.
Nautilus. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was a crazy video.
Yeah,
And they estimate that it had just, I mean, that stuff's going to go fast. They estimate that they caught it like within probably a few hours of the swordfish settling to the bottom.
Yeah. Absolute feeding frenzy.
That was a really cool moment to capture. Very unlikely to happen while down there. So that was really cool.
Yeah, for sure. What about the sperm whale? Was any of you part of that expedition?
That was in like 2014, 2013. I think it was 2013 or 14. I got on the expedition after that. That was after the shakedown. That was the first expedition of the season, and I got on right after that one. And it was like, I mean, that obviously was an amazing moment, and kind of set the bar pretty high for the whole season.
Of course.
You're not
Were you
really
a little
gonna match that.
scared that the sperm whale would have damaged something there, or not really?
Well, again, I wasn't on board for it.
Okay.
And again, I think that, I mean, whales are very smart. I think it was just curious more than anything. It wasn't. I mean, I think a bump from a sperm whale could certainly do damage to an ROV.
Of course.
But it wasn't moving fast, and it wasn't. It was just checking us out.
I am very excited to see what we find on our next exploration on the National Marine Sanctuary of American Samoa.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about that.
What's the next couple of cruises? I know you said it before, but
Yeah, that one, the National Marine Sanctuary of American Samoa, and the Pacific Remote Islands Marines National Monument.
cool. What's
So-
after that?
So those two here in American Samoa in 2 weeks, and then heading back to
Yeah, they're
the
heading back to the
West
West
Coast. of the U.S. Yeah.
Cool. Oh, right, and there. Wait, is Octopus Garden this year? Are they re-looking at this year or next year?
Yeah, they're going. I think they're going back to Monterey Bay Marine Sanctuary this year.
Cool.
At the end.
So great. So we have over 90 hours of side scan surveying this area.
Over
Yeah,
100
I think we might be
easily.
over
Oh
100
yeah,
now.
we
Okay.
every watch we're tacking on. So we started the 15th
Mm-hmm.
at 9.
At 9, right?
So 15, 16, 17, today's the 18th?
Today's the 19th.
19th.
So today, at, like in 4 hours, it'll be 5 days exactly, which is 120 hours.
Wow.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, really?
72, 96,
I mean, yeah,
120.
we're like
Is that right?
100
120 hours?
Yes.
I think right now.
Well, in when we get to 9.
Yeah, when we get to 9, we're at 116 right now.
So we're gonna end up with probably about 124 hours in the water.
Yep.
Wow.
That's a hard record to beat.
That's long.
Yeah, that'll keep for a while.
Yeah. Took us like an entire expedition.
Literally.
So when I went back to the Octopus Garden on the Atlantis, they dove with Alvin and they filmed octopuses hatching from those eggs.
Oh,
Oh, that's
It's pretty
cool.
wild.
oh, that's so great. So Mike, since you started from the very beginning with the OET, what's some of your favorite experiences that you witnessed
Oh boy.
while on Nautilus?
So one of my favorite actually was actually NA111. We were working on the World War I warship shipwrecks, battleships, and light cruisers off Gallipoli in Turkey. It's where there was a major naval battle when Australian and British forces tried, and I think French as well, tried to push through the Dardanelles up to get the Sea of Marmara, Istanbul, and into the Black Sea, so they could make a naval route to Russia, and then kind of cut off the Axis powers from behind, and they encountered a large amount of resistance from Turkish gun batteries on both sides of the Dardanelles Channel that were supported by German military, and they floated mines down the channel and sank quite a few of the battleships, and then U-boats arrived on the scene a few weeks after that and sank some of them in the northern Aegean Sea. And we did that for a National Geographic film, and then NA004, which is my first time being expedition leader, we also returned to Gallipoli and continued mapping there. And that was really cool because so battleship shipwrecks was one of my early interests in maritime archaeology. The story of the Bismarck in World War II, the sinking of the German battleship. And I hadn't known much of anything about World War I naval history, and so that was fascinating. It was also the first time that I was standing out on deck when we had the ROVs down over the capsized wreck of the HMS Triumph, which was a battleship. And I was picturing that it was like almost exactly 100 years anniversary at that point. And I was picturing like that such a violent battle had taken place in the exact place where we were, and it was like dead calm in the water right then. So it was like the first time that kind of the weight of
history
of naval battles and shipwrecks and history kind of struck me. So that was one of my favorite locations to work. But then there were like a lot of other ones. We worked on the Monterey shipwrecks in the Gulf of Mexico, which Dr. Delgado talked about earlier today, where we found what we believe is a privateer vessel and 2 ships that it captured that all sank in a storm because they're within 5 miles of each other, these 3 shipwrecks and they all have similar artifacts that date to about the early 1800s. And then the last expedition I was on before this one was in 2016, the aircraft carrier USS Independence that was scuttled off of San Francisco after being a target ship for the nuclear blast at Bikini Atoll. And it was used at Hunters Point in San Francisco for tests of radiation decontamination before it was scuttled in 1951. Noah and Jim had found the wreck with an AUV just using the sonar the year before, and then we went out with Herc and Argus and did the first documentation of that wreck, and happened to find 2 aircraft still in the hangar deck, which was a surprise and very exciting. And then I was just out at Bikini Atoll doing mapping of that area and the 12 ships that were sunk by the nuclear blasts just last month. So that kind of tied that back to the Independence work from a couple years ago.
Wow. That sounds epic. So you so you started with wrecks. You didn't start with like mapping and biology interest.
Yeah. So well, I mean, when I say my first interest was battleship wrecks, it was battleship shipwrecks. It was when I was like in 4th grade. And then in college I went into marine geology because Ballard had told me to. And then Roman archaeology, Maya archaeology, and then ended up in grad school for oceanography with Dr. Ballard, and ended up doing a lot of ancient shipwreck work just because of where Nautilus was working at the time, which is the Black Sea and the Mediterranean. And only now am I kind of getting back into the World War I and II wrecks, other than some of the work like at Gallipoli.
Wow, that's cool. So who's the oldest besides Mike? Who's the person that is oldest? I mean, like not an. Sorry, don't take me wrong. It's like who's the one with most experience with Nautilus here, after Mike?
Maybe you.
Well,
I mean, it depends probably if you go by years or actually
Mark, obviously.
amount of time.
Mark Darash has been on almost every expedition.
No, but from the ones that are here in the band.
From our band.
Yeah, I
By
think
number of
I think
years, it's
Wendy
probably
then.
me, but
Yeah, it's
Mike,
Wendy.
this Mike might have more like actual expeditions. I don't.
I think I have like, this is only my 4th year. I think I have maybe like 12 expeditions or something. I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah, this is my 5th year, but I only do like 1 to 2 expeditions usually a year, so I don't know.
Yeah, Mike, I remember seeing your name on the spreadsheet the last year or 2 that I was here, but we never overlapped.
Well, they don't usually let 2 mics in here at the same time.
Oh, yes, they do.
Confusing.
There's usually like 3 or 4.
Oh, sorry. There's like all kinds of mic pilots.
Yeah, this is
like
actually
at
the
least 3 of
fewest.
them.
This is the fewest mics I think I've been on board with, to be honest.
It'd be funny if you ever had the Herc team and it was Mike, and Mike.
Okay, so when my first expedition was on Rhode Island ship, the Endeavor, and there were 3 mics. There was a Brennan Phillips, and my last name is Brennan, and there was another Mike Brennan. He was the cook.
Oh,
wow.
So, yeah, that was, if you want to talk about confusing names, they had no idea whose passport was whose. It was ridiculous.
Start going by dog.
You ever like when you order food and they ask for a name, everyone gives their own name, you know? You never think about it.
Yeah, there's no need, right?
But you don't have to. Like, I remember one time, like, it felt like I was breaking some social norm, but I went up and they're like, can I have a name with that? And I was like, yeah, sure. I was like, Benjamin.
Yeah.
It was like, just because it doesn't matter. You know, like, make up whatever you want.
That's right.
You can be whoever
And you can
want.
be Benjamin for just a minute.
Yeah, and just, you can feel what it's like, and then they come out with your food and they're like, Benjamin?
The person,
And-
they'll look at you and say, Benjamin?
And you're like, no, that's not me. And then you realize and go, wait, that's me.
I like to say Batman at Starbucks.
Oh, they still spell it wrong?
Probably.
Oh, so you give your name as Batman for the cup at Starbucks?
Yeah.
Do you say, like, my name is Batman, or do you say, I'm Batman?
I am Batman.
Usually they say like, hey, what's your name?
And do they write that down, or they just laugh?
Yeah, do they go along with you?
Yeah,
or
they go along with it.
ask you to leave?
They go along with it.
Ask you to show some
I
ID.
Yeah.
I gotta smile when I say
There
it.
was a
I'm not
phase
like-
when some people would write or would say Primrose Everdeen, and then when they said the name, they would shout, "I volunteer as tribute." 'Cause that's from
Say that again?
Hunger
Oh, I
Games.
was just going to ask what the name came from because I couldn't remember, but then you told
That's
me.
from Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Like they call the younger sister, and then Katniss raises her hand, and so people would say Primrose Everdeen, and then when they say that, they would scream, "I volunteer as tribute."
That's funny.
I think it faded pretty quickly. I never actually saw it happen. I just read about it. I think it's kind of funny, but maybe a bit overboard.
It's another series I missed.
Yeah, the first movie was good.
I actually read those too.
I read the books. I did not like the ending.
I think I was a little old for them by the time I read them, so I finished them to finish them. But the writing was definitely geared for a younger audience.
Yeah, I think I read those in like a day or two each.
I
just
wasn't a
'cause-
huge fan of how it was written in present tense. It just kind of it's just weird. I didn't like that very much.
I put those in the, I've just seen the movies, but those are in the movies I've seen due to airplane travel.
Oh yeah.
I think I saw all of them on a plane.
Yep.
And
It's a
all-
good
Everything-
use of a flight.
yeah.
After Ice Age 2 is all due to airplane travel.
What?
I've never like chosen to watch everything after the second Ice Age.
Of any movie at all, or of the Ice Age series?
No, no, of the Ice Age series.
Oh, okay.
No,
We
like
weren't-
yeah,
we
after
weren't
Ice
talking
Age
about
2
Ice Age,
came
so I was
out,
like-
no movie could compare.
I was
That was
just
the
like, I don't
turning
know what
point.
you're
That
saying.
In film viewing for me.
How many did they make after 2?
I think there's 4 or 5.
Oh, okay.
Not after, like in total.
I don't think I've seen any of them.
There's
I've
at
only
least
seen
4.
the first one or two.
haven't seen any.
There's the regular Ice Age, the Meltdown, there's Continental Drift, Age of the Dinosaurs
Oh
or
my
something
God.
like that.
I think you know more about it than you're pretending to.
Yeah.
But no, that's what I'm saying. I've watched the others because of
Flights. I
Because
got
you
you.
love them.
I gotcha.
You don't. There's got to be other choices. You're not gonna just seek out. You know.
there.
certain
No, there
acts
was
like-
there was one that they were just running one movie.
Just
Yeah,
got
it
the
was
full
Ice Age,
back tattoo.
Ice Age 8.
Yeah.
Ice Age Continental Drift.
Next it'll be like
I thought
Ice
you-
Age,
I would've
global
thought you were-
climate change.
I would have thought you were too young for the airplanes that only had one movie.
Yeah.
The flight we took from,
Yeah, there's only one. It was
Honolulu
only, no, they didn't show a movie, did they?
I don't know, I tried to sleep,
Yeah, I don't think they even showed a movie.
but they had like limited screens, so.
There was the Hawaiian Airlines had like a touch screen in the back of the seat, which I thought was really cool and new. And so I was flipping through the movies, and I'm like, oh, they got some good selections. I was in the featured movies, and then
The guy in front of you turns around and goes, "Quit poking my seat."
no, then I switched to like I was like, okay, these are the featured movies. Let me see like all of the movies, and then I clicked on like
Yeah.
there's no all movies. You know what I mean? Like I'd go from featured movies to like movies by genre. Like no matter what selection I got to, there was no all of them because they were
there
all
is.
different. No, I tried.
No, I found it.
No, I
is.
tried.
There is.
Yeah.
Because I did it.
I tried.
Me
There
too.
was not.
There isn't all list.
There
Is that
is.
what you're
No,
saying?
because
Oh.
there's an all list that you'd think is all, but then there was different ones in the featured, so it clearly wasn't all.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I see what you're saying.
You know?
Oh, yeah, it was like
I guess
It
I
was
didn't
like
test that
classics or
hypothesis.
something.
Yeah, I
it
think
was like the biggest group was like called classics or something like that, right?
Yeah.
56 minutes of this left.
Your ROV's almost on the line. Stop complaining.
you better get it there before the end of watch.
Well, actually, it's really interesting when you look at how the ship line is and then like the ROV line. It's like
Oh my god.
the ROV doesn't quite.
It
It's
doesn't
like
do
it's like
the
it's like a
exaggerated
delay.
movement.
No, the navigator's not moving the ship far enough.
Well, I know. I see it's straightened out now, but it only started to straighten out once we got to where the
Yeah,
ship straightened
no,
out.
I know. By the time we're done the line, he might have it in the right place. I don't know.
I will turn this ship around.
For,
I don't think
for
Mike
our
would,
audience, you can
support
check
that
on the
decision.
quad.
No.
We have the image of the ship in pink and the lines in blue. So you can see the masterpiece that we're drawing in that.
Thank you.
Yes. You are welcome.
That's only because you can't see the turn to the right.
That's been censored.
Yeah. You can show them your turn.
No.
No?
He
Okay,
doesn't
cool.
want to.
He doesn't want the internet ragging on him too.
No, I'm not going to. We already had someone write in that said the internet will tell tales of my glorious high-pack masterpieces. So we're going to leave it at that.
And then you attempted an early retirement.
That's not the point.
You know what we should do according to one of our viewers? Have some trivia going on.
Trivia.
Yeah.
That they
That means
ask us or
someone-
that we ask them.
Who makes better turns, Rennie or Chris?
I've been on board for 4 weeks as an intern. He's been on board for years.
Yeah, I don't think he leaves. He's one of those ones that lives there.
Yeah, he said he lives on board when people ask where he's from.
Yeah, we did actually.
Yeah, no fixed address.
So I'm so sorry if my, you know what, here we go. Oh, it's on ship tracking. It won't let me, just a second. I'm so sorry.
That's now to our audience. You can check that in the in the quad. You can
I'm
see the
so
turn.
sorry
You
if
can
that's
check
so subpar
just
to you.
Please check the
We're
turn.
giving me a hard time over.
No, we're very proud of you. This
No,
is the
you're
first time we're-
not.
Of
It looks
course
like the
we
power
are.
went out.
Don't lie to me.
Come on, Mike. Oh my God. So our viewers, you should be here on this van and see these faces that I'm seeing now. So fun.
So about this trivia thing.
I made this for you. You guys seen those videos?
Yeah, not fridge worthy.
I have a trivia question.
Okay, good. Thank you.
When were the first hydrothermal vents discovered?
Oh, I know this.
At least 1 year ago.
Oh my God.
Yes, that is an
Alright.
accurate statement, but the incorrect answer.
I'm
remember the year.
gonna just go out.
So are you asking the audience or us?
I don't know.
The audience.
Well, the
I think
audience
we
can
can
look
ask
it up
the
The audience
audience.
can Google it.
online, and we don't know.
Alright,
I
if
mean, not
any-
that we don't trust you,
If anyone else doesn't know, I know this.
but there's at least one person out there who's gonna Google it.
Yeah.
Because I would.
Bonus points if you can also name the location.
And by whom?
What? Yeah. $1987.
Nope.
Nope.
Was it close?
Mike, would you like to?
So it was by Dr. Robert Ballard
Yeah.
in 1976. And it was the
Ah.
Galapagos Rift, wasn't it?
Yes.
Near the Galapagos Islands.
Yeah.
Yes.
Though the date I'm pulling up is 1977.
Oh, is it
Yeah.
really?
77.
Well, no, wait. It might have been discovered in 76, but the
They
first
went-
scientific papers were published
Yeah.
in 77.
I believe
so
it was discovered in 76, and then they had to go back out because they had no biologists on board.
What did I say? 87?
Yeah.
I was only 10 years off.
Only.
Only
That's
10.
one number.
So do we know if the follower who suggested trivia, do they want us to ask them stuff, or do they want to ask us stuff? I don't know.
Okay, we have questions from our audience for
Alright.
the trivia.
Cool.
But before I ask the question, I have to read this. That turn was horrific.
They say
They said
horror.
horrific.
Horrific. But then, LOL.
Awesome.
Oh no, we love you, Mike. Oh, Mike.
Chris.
Chris.
Chris is
Sorry.
never going to come back
You
here.
know,
Looking at Mike
not that I
laughing out
could
loud.
anyways, but man,
Oh, wow. horrific.
I have another trivia question.
I just imagine that was like my parents.
Oh no. No, I shouldn't have read that. I'm sorry. Let's go. We ask one question and then
The LOL
our audience
does
asks one question.
Doesn't make it better.
does not take the sting out of your words.
No? Oh
Whoever
God.
you are, I am forever changed.
What can I do to help?
Read some
solve this?
trivia.
All right, let's do the trivia thing.
Okay, so the Taj Mahal is located in which Indian city?
Oh, I was just gonna yell
Taj
India.
Mahal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know many
That's
Indian
not
cities.
ocean trivia.
Okay.
That's-
Is that
We're ocean
Bangalore?
specialists here.
No? I would say Bangalore. Or the Taj Mahal.
Sure,
Let me
sounds
check.
right.
Okay. Oh, the city's Agra. Okay.
Yeah, tip of my tongue.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Do we go now?
Yes.
Okay. How deep is the deepest point in our ocean in meters or feet?
Oh, exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
whoever gets closest.
It technically changes continuously.
With tides.
Isn't that the Mariana Trench?
Yes.
I believe it's
Yes.
7 miles, but I don't know in feet or
I want to
meters.
say it's 11,000
12,000
meters.
Yeah, it's
12,000
11 and change.
11,827.
Yeah, I win.
The
Well, out
point,
of 4.
it's called Challenger Deep,
Right.
and it's at 10,994 meters, plus or minus 40.
Plus or minus
Oh,
40.
Yeah, so I was
Again,
close.
again.
Yes.
How deep?
About 11,000 meters.
Okay. Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
And the point is Challenger Deep.
And we're at 3,000
Hey,
for comparison.
question, is that whole thing about James Cameron and the like little like door or whatever he found all the way
Door.
down there
door.
true?
I know he went down there. I don't think he
There
found a
was
door.
No, we have a poster hanging up at the academy that gives like reference of like the deepest trenches, you know, and like at one point it says like, you know, this is how many Empire State Buildings it would take to like fill the, you know, kind of one of those posters.
Yeah.
And then it's just at the bottom it says there's something that James Cameron found down there, and he like wouldn't tell anyone what he found, like what was in it, like a chest or like I don't know what it.
I don't think that's true.
It sounds
What
made
it
up.
was.
There was a door.
Why
It's probably
is
a rock.
Why is it on the poster though?
That must be
According to
true.
Reddit, it's a joke.
Why is the scientific poster hanging up at the Coast Guard Academy?
It's probably a joke.
Not
That
the
they threw
entire
on a poster.
poster.
Oh my god.
It's on a
I'm trying
poster. It has to be
figure out
true.
who's
Yeah.
gullible.
Sounds like an episode of Round Planet.
Sounds like the South Park James Cameron episode.
Oh, is there one about the,
Oh,
the
they have a whole-
Challenger Deep
No,
thing?
yeah, they have a whole song about
Oh,
it.
amazing.
Oh, you need to YouTube it. It is amazing. Yeah.
Oh God, every time they come up, a few years ago, my girlfriend and I went to New York and saw the Book of Mormon play, and it was ludicrous. It was one of the funniest things ever.
Okay, we have another question.
Door.
Okay. It's
What?
a joke. It's at least happened. Like not in real life, but like at least it's a thing that like someone mentioned at some point in real life.
It just sounds so funny.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so what fruit was eaten on the bow of the Titanic after its recovery?
Probably a banana with the way things
What?
turned
What
out.
food was
Banana?
eaten
No, that's
Wait,
That's
what?
bad
What was the
luck.
question?
what fruit was eaten.
An apple. It was Will Sellers.
Yeah,
I've heard that story from the man himself.
What
yeah.
is it? What is it?
He had an
An
apple
apple?
in Alvin, like sitting on the bow of the Titanic after they discovered it.
Oh God.
Oh, after they discovered it. I'm thinking like before, like
What
that's why I
food
said
was
banana
first eaten?
because I was like,
So
must
we
have been
say
some bad
apple.
luck.
So that was Moya. Now go ahead, Moya. Tell us if we are good.
He was my Herc pilot when I was an intern. He told a lot of sea stories.
Yeah, I worked with Will a couple of times out here. That's hilarious. Just hanging out on the bow of the Titanic, eating apples.
Yep.
So yes, it was an apple. Oops. So how long do we still have left of sonar scanning?
To finish this line, it looks like it's going to take 1 more hour, and then we have a couple more lines plotted. But
Okay.
yeah. So I think we have enough lines to go up until 2 a.m. Valerie.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, the Mariana Trench, the deepest part of the ocean, is called the Challenger Deep, and it's 33,200 feet deep. Yep.
Did I get my question right?
It's gotta be more.
Yes.
It's gotta be. Is it?
Apples,
Wait,
yes.
3,000 feet? It's gotta be more than that.
Got 2 questions right.
Yeah, I did.
Crushing it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what was the most recent question?
There hasn't been a new one.
The
How
new
many
question
apples
is,
did Will eat
what whale's sonar
on the
is the
Titanic?
most powerful?
What?
What whale's sonar is the most powerful?
My guess is
What's
humpback.
your
Oh,
measure
what whale's
of
sonar?
what's your measure of power?
Yeah.
Probably a
'Cause,
sound
I
pressure
mean-
level or
Oh.
a...
Yeah, power isn't really. So, like, are you
Mm.
looking for decibels, like highest or lowest? Are you looking for like distance?
Okay, until our viewer clarifies that question, we have another question. What percentage does the Pacific Ocean cover of Earth's surface?
The Pacific?
The Pacific Ocean, yeah.
I want to say like 40%.
What is the question?
What
Wait,
perc-
all
What
of the world's
percent?
oceans
No, the
cover like.
Pacific Ocean.
The
Yeah, I
Pacific
know,
Ocean.
but all of the world's oceans cover
like
70,
70,
right?
75%.
Yeah,
I'm still. All right, I'll go. I'm still going with 40.
I'm going with 35.
We know
38.
that the Pacific Ocean
If
is
the Price
is
is
the
Right
largest
answer.
ocean
Yes.
on Earth, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's in here.
So
33. Picking a number.
Yes, where did it go? Oh, it's
Still there.
Yep. Oh, man. Alright, we're working on it. What's going on here? Go back down there. Tapu being over here. That's in meters. We're looking for nautical miles, I'm guessing. We're looking at about 7.2 nautical miles. Bearing 357, approximately true north. Here? You want from the entrance? Sure. We're looking at 8.6, 304 degrees true. What's up? At water level, like in a canoe, my best guess would be 7 miles. Just from experience.
Yeah, we have some visitors here on our van, so we're gonna continue with our conversation and our trivia in a little bit.
Yes, I can. Roger that. Sure. We do not have the color ramp. I don't believe. But actually, yeah, if we could bring the multi-beam up in the processing software, we would be able to determine it from there.
No.
Roger that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, we are back, and it's
Got any
so
more
good to
trivia
see
questions?
so many people on the West Coast and the East Coast still connected.